Welcome to Reggie Airlines, where your luggage will be carefully looked after and safety protocol will be followed at all times. Yes people, welcome to Airport Sim, a demo that released as part of Steam's Next Fest. The Cockney Gamer Gang wanted to dive a little bit deeper into Airport Sim and provide you lovely people a short mini review. No score is going to be given however, as it's just a pre-alpha. But what I will say is that there is something very interesting here. In fact, I'm almost tempted to say if they can add some more substance to it and optimise further, we might have one of the better airport style games out there in recent years. So buckle into your seats and let's have a chat. Welcome back one and all, and today we are talking about Airport Sim. Now this is a short demo that places you as a ground handler, and it practically answers all of the issues I had with the recent VR game I reviewed called Airport Ground Handling Simulator. Check that one out to get more background, because what we have here is a more fleshed out simulator with actual stuff to do. In a nutshell, you'll manage arriving and departing aircraft, and so with that you need to ensure the plane's needs are all met. So placing down chocks behind the wheel so it doesn't roll back, getting power to the aircraft as it begins its shutdown procedure, or Reggie's favourite part, living the life of a baggage handler and causing utter mayhem. What I particularly like here is the need to be delicate with the baggage, unlike real life baggage handlers of course, because if you fuzz their luggage across the tarmac, their clothing and items will be strewn all over the gaff. This guy here, for example, has a rather handsome knife in his luggage, a potential recruit for Reggie and the boys. What Airport Sim does so well though is it makes you do everything properly. That is to say, you need to get out your tug, which are fully drivable of course, and attach the required trailers, or how you might press the buttons in the correct order to start up the power unit. When placing the stair ramp on the aircraft, you need to line up just right so that everything connects to avoid poor little grandma falling through the gaps. It's all in here people, and what is super nice is the tablet feature, where you're going to see a list of arriving and departing flights and your tasks at hand around each gate, so you can then start planning out where you need to go and what to do. In this demo it's a basic airport that is easy to hop around, but the future game promises much larger airports. My only concern at this stage is the lack of variety. The tasks at hand are basic and simple, and I can see boredom quickly creeping in here unless they increase this substantially. I'd love to have more safety procedures in place, where Reggie jumps on an airplane and gets a slap wrist for doing it, or our passengers can be seen on the airplane looking out. Let's axe out the glowing stick people and have us help the aircraft taxi in. Let's get a proper career mode going that can be added, where you build your own reputation that Spirit Airlines themselves would be jealous. Either way, this is very early days right now, and what I see here in terms of gameplay feels basic, but there is something bubbling too, something bubbling underneath, where you just feel like if they can get it right, it's going to be a very nice little sim to play. So for the love of God, developers, please don't rush this one out to get cash, but instead bake it in the oven and double down on the multiple tasks that's going to be required of us. Graphically it looks okay, but I will say it runs like a pig. Even on a 4080, this game on high settings can crawl down to 40 to 50 frames per second, and with Ultra it goes down significantly. I'm only calling them out now, as I hope that come release this is going to be smooth as butter. Models and assets are no worse than any other simulator-esque game I guess, and certainly the weather changes on display are a nice little feature too. It is of course full of bugs, where I'm debating whether they should be removed or kept in the game for sheer banter purposes. Here you see Reggie delivering his luggage, where I thought a measly cone would not cause so much damage, but as you can see, it created utter bedlam. Some of the assets also seem a bit low fidelity and ugly, and hopefully they can be reworked to higher textures, and lighting is flat and stagnant, except for the rain, where lighting actually bounces quite nicely off puddles. I also love little touches they added, such as flaps retracting and landing lights being switched off. However, my biggest gripe here is the scale. Something about it just seems off with the planes, as you're some kind of bloody giant. I actually went on YouTube and looked at some exterior walk around videos to make sure Reggie wasn't losing the plot here, but indeed it is not possible for a human to be this tall against the bloody planes. One jump and I'm almost level with the nose, and walking on top of the plane confirmed my feelings when comparing myself to the fin. I'm not sure if it's just a case of resizing the plane to be bigger or making yourself smaller, but by doing so, other things in the environment start to be out of shape too, so it's a bit of a conundrum for them. The planes need to feel like these big towering mechanical beasts, but instead you feel like a proper unit buzzing everyone's luggage around, and passengers will no doubt be staring at you in awe from their windows, watching as this giant among giants stalk outside. Sound is very good this early on in its life, aircraft sound great, and even when walking around the aircraft, you'll get a different pitch and tone versus just sounding static. Little sound effects serve a good purpose, and I hope the full game comes with a lot more radio chatter to really bring the airport to life. It's definitely decent and a great base for them to work from. So all in all then, Airport Sim, I actually quite liked it, people. Yes, it needs a lot of work, my pedigree chums, but there is a genuine basis here for a decent simulator game. I can see on the menu there is a Steam Workshop option too, so hopefully this means there's potential for mods, which would be great if true. It certainly is rough around the edges, and it states it's a pre-alpha, so I'm not going to be too harsh here with that in mind, but instead I do encourage the developers to take all the time they need to polish this one up and not let it fall to the wayside, because this is a definite one to add to your wish list for the future. Until next time, my lovelies, Reggie out.